So now we'll be studying what is the requirement for slop tank as per Marpol Annexer 2 1 sorry. The oil tanker of 150 gross tonnage dynamo shall be provided with the slop tank arrangement. Adequate means shall be provided for cleaning the cargo tanks and transferring the dirty ballast residue and tank washing from the cargo tank into a slop tank approved by the administration. The total capacity of slop tank shall not be less than 3% of the oil carrying capacity of the ship, except that administration may accept 3% of the 2% for tankers with efficient tank washing system, eductor utilizing water already present for washing and driving fluids, and 2% where segregated ballast tank or a dedicated clean ballast tanks are provided. 2% for tankers with efficient tank washing system, eductors utilizing water already present, eductor utilizing water in tank washing efficient tank washing system, eductors utilizing water already present for washing and driving water already. 2% when segregated ballast tank or dedicated clean ballast tanks are provided, or where a cargo tank cleaning system using crude oil washing is fitted or provided with a cargo tank cleaning system. Cargo tank cleaning using a crude washing is fitted. Eductor या तो काव रहना चाहिए. And 1% for combined carriers where oil cargo is only carried in tanks with smooth walls. Oil is carried by only for smooth walls. क्या है ये smooth walls? Smooth walls. What is the vessel response plan and how it's different from super? The vessel response plan is a comprehensive document developed by vessel owners and operators, when is then submitted to USCG to outline procedures and resources for responding to oil or hazardous substances spill that may occur during vessels operation. VRPs are typically mandated for vessels operating in waters under the jurisdictions of certain countries, especially the United States. It's a comprehensive document developed by a vessel's owners and operator, which is then submitted to USCG to outline procedure and resources that may occur during the vessel's VRP are typically mandated for vessels. The VRP includes information about the vessel, such its name, country, the registry, call sign, and contact information for vessel's owner or operator, a list of zones that the vessel intends to operate in, and clear the identification of the incident management team, the people or a group who is to be notified in the event of a spill. The Coast Guard is responsible for reviewing and approving VRPs submitted by vessel owners against the national planning criteria. The Coast Guard's regulatory requirement that outline what must be included in the plans. The Coast Guard is responsible for reviewing and approving VRPs submitted by vessels owner against the national planning criteria. The Coast Guard is responsible for reviewing and approving VRPs submitted by vessels owner against the national planning criteria. The Coast Guard's regulatory requirement that outline what must be included in the plans. The Coast Guard is responsible for reviewing and approving VRP submitted for vessels owners against the national planning criteria. The Coast Guard is responsible for reviewing and approving VRP submitted by vessels owner against the national planning criteria. The Coast Guard is responsible for reviewing and approving VRP submitted by vessels owner against the national planning criteria. The Coast Guard's regulatory recommended outline what must be included in the plan. The plan differences between a vessel and a SOPEP lies in their scope and jurisdiction. VRPs are mandated by the United States Coast Guard and focus on preparedness and response to all spills and hazardous substances releases from vessels operating in US waters They involve coordination with government agencies and response organization. On the other hand, SOPEP are internationally required by the IMO for all ships carrying oil as cargo, outlining onboard and procedure for addressing oil pollution emergencies globally, including containment, cleanup, and reporting protocols. What is Oil Pollution Act? On March 24, 1989, Exxon welders and oil tankers struck a reef while transferring through Prime Williams Sound and spilled nearly 11 million gallons of crude oil into surrounding Alaskan waters. To date, this is one of the most catastrophic oil spill in human history, but it did not lead to some respectful legal forms. Congress voted to pass an Oil Pollution Act (OPA) in 1990. Shortly after the spill, the OPA amended the Federal Water Pollution Act and outlines how companies are required to prevent, respond to, and pay for oil spills. A ship or facility carrying oil must provide documentation showing how they can plan on preventing an oil spill. Additionally, the party must have a comprehensive emergency response plan on board or on site that details how a spill will be cleaned up if it does occur. Documentation needs to be approved by United States Coast Guard before a vessel can embark on its route or a facility can handle the movement of oil. OPA also mandated a double hull requirement for US operating tank barges and newly built tankers. The act created a phase out schedule for existing tankers. Single hull tankers began being phased out in 1995. Lastly, the Oil Spill Liability Trust Fund was authorized under the OPA. Even the fund was originally established in 1986. It was financed by a crude oil tax on barrels produced within or imported to the US and can distribute up to $1 billion per incident. The fund was created to compensate the victims of oil spill and is managed by the federal government. Federal, state, tribal, and claimant oil spill removals and damage assessment could qualify for the use of the fund. What is the VGP? The Revised Vessel General Permit was issued by the Environmental Protection Agency in the United States of America on 19 December 2013. Revised Vessel General Permit. The VGP mandates the use of environmentally acceptable lubricants in all oil to water interfaces and all merchant ships of 79 feet or longer that are sailing in US coastal and inland waters unless technically infeasible. EPA indicates that every oil to sea interface has to use environmentally acceptable lubricant. EPA indicates that every oil to sea interface has to use an environmentally acceptable lubricants. These lubricants are biodegradable, non-accumulative, and minimally toxic. EPA indicates that every oil to sea interface has to use an environmentally acceptable lubricant. These lubricants are biodegradable, non-bioaccumulative, and minimally toxic. What are the categories of noxious liquid substances as per MARPOL Annex 2? X. Category X. Noxious liquid substance which is discharged in water is cleaning or rusting operation are deemed to present a major hazard. So justify the prohibition of the discharge into marine environment. Alkaline, coal, tar. Category Y. Same, hazardous, but justify limitation on quality and quantity of discharge. Category Z. Minor hazards, therefore less stringent restrictions on the quality and quantity of discharge. Other substances in pollution category column of chapter 18 of IBC, which has been evaluated and found to fall outside XYZ, present no harm to marine resources or other legitimate uses when discharged into the sea from tank cleaning or ballasting. The discharge of oil or ballast or other residue or mixture containing oil are referred to as other substance shall not be subject to requirement of the annex. Example: apple juice, glucose solution, vegetable protein solution. What is the discharge criteria for noxious liquid substances? Okay, for XYZ it's 7 knot, if not self-propelled 4 knot, 12 miles from nearest land, depth 25 meter. For X, the tank must be pre-washed before the ship leaves the port, must be discharged to reception facility until the concentration of the substances is the equivalent to discharge is below 0.5% by weight. Remaining tank washing must be discharged to the reception facility until the tank is empty. Any water subsequently introduced into the tank may be discharged into the sea in accordance with the above criteria. The tank must be pre-washed before the ship leaves the port. The resulting residue must be discharged to a reception facility until the concentration of the substance in the effluent to such facility is at or below 0.1% by weight. Remaining tank washing must be discharged to the until the tank is empty. Any water subsequently introduced into the tank may be discharged into the sea in accordance with the above criteria. Y. High viscous or solidifying substances regulations 1, 15, 17 and Annex 2. A pre-wash procedure as specified in Appendix 6 of Annex 2 must be applied. The residue water mixture generated during the pre-wash must be discharged to a reception facility until the tank is empty. Any water subsequently introduced into the tank may be discharged into the sea in accordance with the above criteria. A pre-wash procedure as specified in Appendix 6 of Annex 2 must be specified. The residue water mixture generated during the pre-wash must be discharged to a reception facility until the tank is empty. A pre-wash procedure as specified in Appendix 6 of Annex 2 must be applied. The residue water mixture generated during the pre-wash must be discharged to a reception facility until the tank is empty. Any water subsequently introduced into the tank may be discharged into the sea in accordance with the above criteria. A high viscosity or solidifying substances regulation 1, 15 and 17 Annex 2. A pre-wash procedure as specified in Appendix 6 of Annex 2 must be applied. The rescue water mixture generated during the pre-wash must be discharged to a reception facility until the tank is empty. Any water subsequently introduced into the tank may be discharged into the sea in accordance with the above criteria. यार ये समझना थोड़ा टैंक मस्ट बी प्री वॉश्ड बिफोर द रिजल्टिंग थोड़ा हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट कर लूँ क्या साला एक्स का ये वाई का जेड सब्सटेंसेस प्री वॉश सो थोड़ा हिंदी में देखते हैं क्या इसका मतलब है। जहाज़ के बंदरगाह से निकलने से पहले टैंक को पहले से धोया जाना चाहिए। परिणामी अवशेषों को रिसेप्शन सुविधा में तब तक डिस्चार्ज किया जाना चाहिए जब तक कि ऐसी सुविधा में अपशिष्ट में पदार्थ की सांद्रता वजन के हिसाब से या उसमें कम ना हो जाए। टैंक की बची हुई धुलाई को रिसेप्शन सुविधा में तब तक डिस्चार्ज किया जाना है जब तक कि टैंक खाली ना हो जाए। सुविधा में जब तक डिस्चार्ज किया जाना चाहिए जब तक ऐसी सुविधा में पता नहीं क्या। बाद में टैंक में डाला गया कोई भी पानी उपरोक्त मानदंडों के अनुसार क्या लिखा है एनेक्सर 2 के परिशिष्ट 6 में निर्देशित प्रवेशिक प्रक्रिया को लागू किया जाना चाहिए। प्री वॉश के दौरान उत्पन्न अवशेष पानी के मिश्रण को टैंक खाली कर होने तक रिसेप्शन में डिस्चार्ज किया जाना चाहिए। बाद में टैंक में डाला गया कोई भी पानी उपरोक्त मानदंडों के अनुसार समुद्र में छोड़ा जा सकता है। समुद्र में छोड़ा जा सकता है यदि श्रेणी एक्स वाइजन की पदार्थ की उतराई मैनुअल के अनुसार नहीं की जा सकती है तो जहाज के उतराई के बंदरगाह से निकलने से पहले प्री वॉश किया जाना चाहिए. अरे बहन जो ज़्यादा हो गया. So the tank must be before the resulting air must be discharged to reception until the concentration in the effluent to such facilities at below 0.5% by the weight. Remaining tank washing must be discharged until the tank is empty. Any water sent into the tank may be discharged into the sea in accordance with any water subsequently. A pre-wash procedure must be applied. The residue generated during the pre-wash must be discharged into the sea until the tank is empty. Any water submitted into the tank may be discharged into the any water submitted into the tank must be discharged into the sea in accordance with the above criteria. If the unloading of a category somehow Y or Z is not carried, X, Y, Z is not carried out in accordance with the manual, is pre-wash has to be carried out before the ship leaves of unloading. If the unloading of a substance is not carried out in accordance with the manual, a pre-wash has to be carried out before the ship leaves the port. Unloading the resulting must be pre-wash. अच्छा, अगर ये अनलोडिंग हुई है एज पर मैनुअल तो क्या प्री वॉश की ज़रूरत नहीं है? पता नहीं यार. Annexure 2 का special area Antarctic Sea. What is it as per Annex 2 list? What is cargo record? The cargo is developed for the ships carrying noxious liquid substances in accordance with the provision of Regulation 15 of Annex 2. Regulation याद रखना है 15, ठीक है, of Annex 2. After completion of the operation listed below, the operation shall be promptly recorded in record book. Lists of item to be recorded with operational code. Loading of cargo, internal transfer of cargo, unloading of cargo, mandatory pre-wash, cleaning of cargo tank except for mandatory pre-wash, discharge into the sea of tank washings, ballasting of cargo tanks, discharge of ballast water from cargo tanks, accidental or other exceptional discharge, ballasting of cargo tank, discharge into the sea of tank washings, cleaning of cargo tank except for mandatory pre-wash, cleaning of cargo tank except for mandatory pre-wash, cleaning of cargo tank except for mandatory pre-wash, discharge into the sea of tank washings, ballasting of cargo tanks, discharge of ballast water from cargo tanks, accidental or other exceptional discharge of ballast water from cargo tanks, accidental or other exceptional discharge, additional operational procedures and remark. What is procedure? PNA manual as per MARPOL. MARPOL Annex 2 require that each ship which is certified for the carriage of noxious liquid substance in bulk shall be provided with a procedure and manual. Scope of this is to provide arrangement and equipment required to enable compliance with MARPOL Annex 2. This manual is approved. It's a manual, okay, approved by the administration of recognized organization on behalf of the administration. Has been written in accordance with the Regulation 14 of Annex 2 and is concerned with the marine environment aspect of Annex 2 and is expert cleaning of cargo tank and discharge of residues and mixture from this operation. The manual is not a safety guide and a reference shall be made to other publications specified to evaluate safety hazard. The has been written in accordance with the Regulation 49 and is concerned with the marine environment aspects of the cleaning of cargo and the discharge of residue and mixture from this. The manual is not safety guide and a reference shall be made for the. It's not a safety guide, right? It's a concern with the marine environment aspect of cleaning of cargo tank. For the shall be provided with the procedure of this code is to provide an arrangement required to enable compliance with MARPOL Annex 2, not a safety guide, and reference shall be made to publications to evaluate. The purpose of one is to identify the arrangements and equipment required to enable compliance with Annex 2 and to identify for the ship's officer all operational procedures with respect to cargo handling, tank cleaning, slop handling, residue discharging, ballasting and deballasting, which must be followed in order to comply with the requirement of Annex 2. And the master shall ensure that no discharge into the sea of cargo, residues or water mixture containing category X, Y, or Z substances shall take place unless such discharges are made in full compliance with the operational procedures contained in this manual. The master shall ensure that no discharges into the sea of cargo residue or the mixture containing category X, Y, or Z shall take place unless such discharges are made in full compliance with the operational procedure contained in this manual. The master shall ensure that no discharge into the sea of cargo residues. The master shall ensure that no discharges into the sea of residue or water mixture. The master shall ensure that no discharge into the sea of cargo residue or water mixture containing category X, Y, or Z substances shall take place unless such discharges are made in full compliance with the operational procedures contained in this manual. The master shall ensure that no discharge into the sea of the master shall ensure that no discharges into the sea of cargo residue or residue water mixture containing category X, Y, or Z shall take place unless such categories discharges are made in full compliance with the operational procedure contained in this manual. The master shall ensure that no discharge into the sea of cargo residue or residue water mixture containing category X, Y, or Z. The master shall ensure that no discharge into the sea of cargo residue or residue water mixture containing category X, Y, or Z substances shall take place unless such discharges are made in full compliance with the operational the master shall ensure that no discharge into the category residue containing X, Y, Z shall take place unless such are made in full compliance with the operational. ओके भाई PNA मैनुअल के थ्रू ही डिस्चार्ज होना चाहिए इज मेड फुल कंप्लायंस विद ऑपरेशनल प्रोसीजर्स कंटेंट इन दिस मैनुअल. Content of PNA manual. It's list all the regulation which apply regarding the PNA manual and details regarding XYZ and other requirements. Section 1 main features of MARPOL Annex 2. It also lists the discharge criteria of noxious liquids of description of ship's equipment and arrangement, particulars of the ship, general arrangement, substances allowed to be carried, cargo tank overflow control, description of cargo pumping and piping arrangement and stripping system, description of ballast tanks and ballast pumping and piping arrangement, description of dedicated slop tanks with associated pumping and piping, description of underwater discharge outlet for effluents containing noxious liquid substances, description of cargo tank ventilation system, cargo unloading procedures and tank stripping, provides unloading and stand stripping procedure for ship's personnel to follow during unloading, procedures relating to the cleaning of cargo tanks, the discharge of noxious, the discharge of residue, ballasting and deballasting. This section provides pre-wash guidelines for category X, Y, Z. What is shipboard marine pollution emergency plan? Every ship of 150 gross tonnage and above certified to carry a noxious liquid substances in bulk shall carry on board a shipboard marine pollution emergency plan for noxious liquid substances by the administration. Every ship of 150 gross tonnage and above certified to carry noxious liquids in bulk shall carry on board a shipboard marine pollution emergency plan for noxious liquid substances approved by the administration. Such a plan shall be based on guidelines developed by the organization and written in working language or languages understood by the master. The plan shall consist list the procedure to be followed by the master or other persons having charge of the ship to report a noxious liquid substances polluting incidents. The list of authorities or persons to be contacted in the event of noxious liquid substances pollution incident, or detailed descriptions of the action to be taken immediately by persons on board to reduce or control the discharge of noxious liquid substances following the incident. The procedure and point of contact on ship for coordinating shipboard action with national and local authorities in combating the pollution. Every ship of 150 gross tonnage or above shall be certified to carry a noxious liquid substances in bulk, shall carry on board a shipboard marine pollution emergency plan for noxious liquid substances approved by the administration. Such a plan shall be based on guidelines developed by the organization and written in working language, and the procedure to be followed by the master order having a charge of the ship to report on noxious liquid substances pollution incident. The first list of authorities persons to be contacted in the event of a noxious liquid substances pollution effluents incident. A detailed description of the action to be taken immediately by person on board to reduce the control the discharge of noxious liquid substances following the incident. The procedure and point of contact on ship for coordinating shipboard action with national and local authority in combating the pollution. Sewage, a drainage and other waste from any form of toilets and urinals, drainage from medical premises, dispensary, sick bay, etc. via wash basins, wash tubs and scuppers located in such premises, drainage from spaces containing living animals, other waste when mixed with the drainage defined above. Holding tank means a tank used for collection and storage of sewage. What is the criteria as per this is 4 na. So the ship must employ a sewage treatment system sanctioned by the administration as per regulation 9.1.2 of annex. It can discharge treated sewage beyond 3 nautical miles from the nearest point if communicated and disinfected, and beyond 1 nautical mile from the 12 nautical mile if untreated, but the discharge must be gradual while the ship is underway. It is speed of not less than 4 knots. The ship is to be underway at not less than 4 knots. Not dismantled, it should be at the ship has been operational approved sewage treatment plant which has to be 3 mile or डायरेक्ट 12 माइल 6-9 माइल का कुछ है नहीं. The ship has in operation and approved sewage treatment plant which has been certified by the administration to meet the operation or requirement referred to in regulation 9.1.1 of annex. The test results of the plant are laid down in ship's international sewage pollution prevention certificate. The test results of the plant are laid down in the ship's international sewage pollution prevention certificate. The test results of the plant are laid down in the ship's international sewage pollution prevention certificate. The test procedures of the plant are laid down in ship's international sewage pollution prevention certificate. The effluent shall not produce visible floating solids nor cause discoloration of the surrounding water. The ship has in operation an approved sewage treatment plant which has been certified by the administration to meet the operational requirements referred to regulation 9.1 of annex 4. Has an operation and approved sewage treatment plant which has been certified by the administration to meet the operational requirement referred to regulation 9.1.1 of annex. The ship has an operation and approved sewage treatment plant which has been certified by the administration to meet the operational requirement referred to in operation. The test results of the plant are laid down in ship's international sewage pollution prevention certificate. The test results of the plants are laid down in ship's international sewage pollution prevention certificate. The effluent shall not produce visible floating solid nor cause discoloration of the surrounding. The test results are laid down to the ship's international sewage pollution prevention certificate. The test results of the plant are laid down in the ship's international sewage pollution prevention certificate. Ship has accumulated a has been certified by them to meet their requirement. Okay. Only once per Baltic Sea area. Okay, what is special treatment describes working? The sewage treatment plant, the most type is that involving aerobic bacteria. The anaerobic bacteria are equally capable of decomposing and breaking down the sludge, but during the process they generate and release harmful gases such as H2S and methane, which are toxic and dangerous for aquatic organisms. Component of sewage treatment plant screen filter, settling sedimentation chamber, activated carbon, chlorinator, air blower, discharge pump, floats and level switches. Working of sewage treatment plant, aeration chamber. The chamber is lead with the raw sewage which has been grounded to form a small particle. The advantages of breaking sewage in small is that it increases the area and a higher number of bacteria can attack simultaneously to decompose the sewage. The sewage is decomposed into carbon dioxide, water, and inorganic sewage. The air is forced through the diffuser into the air chamber. The pressure of the air flow also plays an important role in decomposition of the sewage. If it is kept high, then the mixture of air and sewage will not place properly and it will escape without doing an work in required for decomposition. It is for the reason control pressure is important inside the sewage treatment plant. They will help in proper mixing and decomposition by agitation caused by air bubble. Generally, the pressure is kept around 0.3 to 0.4 bars. Settling tank. The mixture of liquid and sludge is passed to a settling tank from the aeration chamber. In the settling tank, the sludge tank are then bottomed and clear liquid on tank. The sludge present at the bottom is not allowed to be kept inside the settling tank, and this will lead to the growth of anaerobic bacteria and for gases will be reduced. The sludge formed is recycled with the incoming sludge where it will mix with the later and assist in breakdown of sewage. Chlorination and collection. In this chamber, the clear liquid produced from the settling tank is overflown and the liquid is disinfected with the help of chlorine. This is done because of the presence of E. coli bacteria present in the liquid. To produce this bacteria to acceptable level, chlorination is done. Moreover, to reduce the E. coli, the treatment liquid is kept for a period of at least 60 minutes. In some plant, disinfection is also done with the help of ultraviolet radiation. The collected liquid is discharged to overboard or settling tank depending on the geological position of the ship. If the ship is in a restricted or a near coastline, then the sewage will be discharged into the holding tank. Otherwise, the sewage is discharged directly into the sea with a high level is reached and is disposed of automatically until low level switches activates. What is ship sanitation certificate? Ship sanitation certificate is aimed of controlling the spread of international listed human diseases by the controlling any vectors of this disease that could potentially be carried on a vessel. This is achieved by inspecting for and controlling animal vector, rodents and mosquitoes, preventing the discharge of untreated ballast water, checking certification of potable water and sewage, and biosecurity measures for human carriers of disease. Ship sanitation control exemption certificates and ship sanitation control certificate are issued in accordance with the Article 39 of the International Health Regulation. Third editions SSCs are issued by the competent health authorities in authorized port after inspection. Certificates remain valid for a period of 6 months from the date of issue. SSCs are issued by competent authorities in authorized port after inspection. Certificate remain valid for a period of 6 months from the date of issue. Okay, 6 month validity है. Respect to Marpol 5, define garbage means all kind of victual, domestic and operational waste including fresh fish and parts thereof generated during the normal operation of the ship and liable to be disposed of continuously or periodically except those substances which are defined or listed in. Garbage means all kinds of victual, domestic and operational waste excluding fresh fish and parts thereof generated during the normal operation of the ship and liable to be disposed of continuously or periodically except those substances which are defined or listed in. Garbage means all kind of victual, domestic and operational waste excluding fresh fish and parts thereof generating during the normal operation of the ship and liable to be disposed of continuously or periodically except those substances which are defined or listed. यार ये तो पढ़ने सारा condition this is something must be harmful for the human for marine environment discharge. Okay, discharge prohibited. This is in special areas. फूड वेस्ट कम्युनेटेड और ग्राउंडेड. फूड वेस्ट कम्युनेटेड और ग्राउंडेड यार ये याद करना पड़ेगा. छोड़. Garbage record book part 1. Part 1 of the garbage discharge with the use of oil spill, plastic, food waste, domestic waste, cooking oil, incinerator ash, operational waste, animal carcasses, fishing gear, e-waste. टोटल आई तो ABCD 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 प्लास्टिक प्लास्टिक डोमेस्टिक वेस्ट फूड वेस्ट कुकिंग ऑयल इंसिनेटर ऐश ऑपरेशनल वेस्ट एनिमल carcasses fishing gear e-waste garbage record book part 2 will be only required for ships that carry solid bulk cargos cargo residues list the special area as per 5 special areas is Gulf area, Antarctic area, Mediterranean Sea area, Baltic Sea area, Black Sea area, Red Sea area, North Sea area, wider Caribbean region. Gumbar, okay. Gulf Sea area, Antarctic area, Mediterranean Sea area, Baltic Sea area, Black Sea area, Red Sea area, North Sea area, wider Caribbean region. As per MARPOL and Annex regulation for every ship of 400 gross tonnage and above, every ship certified to carry 15 or more shall carry a garbage management plan and shall be provided with a garbage record book. In addition, every ship of 12 meters or more in length overall shall display placards to notify the crew and passengers of the ship disposal requirements. The plan shall be written in the working language of the group. This plan shall provide written procedure for minimizing, collecting, storing, processing and disposing of garbage, including the use of the equipment on board. It shall also designate the person in charge of carrying out the plan. This plan shall provide written procedure for minimizing, collecting, storing procedures and disposing garbage, including the use of equipment on board. It shall also designate the person in charge of carrying out the plan. The plan shall provide with written procedure for minimizing, collecting, storing, processing and disposing of garbage, and including the use of the equipment on board. It shall also designate the person in charge of carrying out the plan. This plan shall provide with the written procedure for minimizing, collecting and storing, processing and disposing of garbage, including the use of equipment on board. It shall also designate the persons in charge of carrying out the plan. Collection of garbage, suitable receptacles for collection and separation. Collection of garbage, suitable receptacles for collection and separation. Location of receptacle, location, collection and separation station. Transport from source of generation to the collection and separation station. Processing of garbage. Personnel responsible for the operation of the equipment, garbage processing equipment. Location of the processing devices and equipment. Categories of garbage processed by the equipment available. Handling of garbage between the primary processing stations and storing and disposal facility. The list the entities to be made in garbage record part garbage date and time of discharge, position of the ship and cargo receipt discharge, category of garbage discharge, estimated discharge in cubic meter, signature officer in charge of the operation. When garbage discharge to reception, fair show to or other date and time of discharge, port of facility or name of the ship, category of garbage discharge, estimated amount discharged for each category in cubic meters, signature of officer in charge of the operation. When garbage is incinerated, date and time of start and stop of incineration, position of the ship, estimated amount incinerated in cubic meter, signature of accident or other time and date of occurrence, port or position of the ship at time of occurrence, estimated amount and category of garbage, circumstances and of reason for accidental escape or loss of garbage. What is particularly sensitive sea area? A particularly sensitive sea zone, special zone recognized by the IMO for its ecological, social, economic or scientific for its ecological, socio-economic or scientific importance. This area may be easily harmed by international maritime activities. Example include the Great Barrier Reef, Australia, Malpelo Island, Colombia, Western European waters, Canary Island, Spain, the Jonad Entrance, Papua New Guinea. The Great Barrier Reef, Australia, Malpelo Island, Colombia, Western European waters, Canary Islands, Spain, the Jomard Entrance, Papua New Guinea, Malpelo Island. Colombia, Western European water, Canary Islands, Spain, the Jonad entrance, Papua New Guinea. What is the color coding as per Marpol Annex? Color coding is like for plastic it's red. Is always company specific. Color coding is always company specific. Okay. Domestic metal glass, domestic cooking. Okay. With respect to Marpol Annex, nitrogen oxide emission area. NECA is an nitrogen oxide emission control area. Is a stricter NOx emission regulation. Marpol Annex 6 within the NECA. Like the supply outside the main source of is highly temperature combustion process will lead to formation of acid rain. Emissions are highly temperature combustion. SOx emission control area means an area with the adoption of special measures for SOx emission for ships is required to prevent, reduces, control air pollution from and ozone depletion substances. Ozone depletion are man-made gases that deplete ozone and once they reach ozone layer. Example CFC11 trifluoromethane, halon 1 through 01, bromotriiodomethane. Particulate matter also called particulate pollution, the term for the mixture of solid materials and liquid droplets found in the air. Some particulates such as dust, dirt, soot or smoke are large or dark enough to be seen with the naked eye. Others are so small they can only be detected using an electron microscope. Can only be detected using an electron microscope. Particulate matter contains microscopic solids or liquid droplets that are small, that can be inhaled and cause serious health problems. Limitation and emission of following is ozone depleting substance. Any deliberate emissions of ozone depleting substances shall be prohibited. New installation which contain ozone depleting substances shall be prohibited on ships, except that new installations containing hydrofluorocarbon permitted in 1 January 2020 nitrogen. Okay. So ships has the rules for controlling pollution. The rules are different upon whether ships are in special area, commission area. The main focus is on reducing sulfur and particle. This is done by settling maximum limit on sulfur content in the fuel within its loaded, stored, bunkered, and used on board. Content in the fuel with its loaded, stored. Over time, these limits have become stricter to encourage the use of cleaner fuel. Explain in terms of percent. That's my business. Okay, so recently, outside a SICA established to SOx and for currently it's 0.5% after first January ICA. Outside an ICA or within ICA 0.1% of outside an ICA established in SOx. Describe the following. No NECA for North Emission Control Area. If a ship has built on or after January, it's sailing in NECA, then its diesel engine must meet a very strict emission standard called Tier 3 for ships constructed on or after 1st January 2021. Baltic Sea Emission Control Area, North Sea Emission Control Area. If the sea was built on or after January 1st, 2021, it's sailing in NECA. Then it also needs to meet the stricter Tier 3 standards outside of the specific areas or for the ships built. Therefore, it might need to be meet less strict standards, either Tier 2 or Tier 1, depending on how old ship is. But Baltic Sea Emission Control Area, US Caribbean Sea Emission Control Area, Baltic Sea Emission Control Area, North American Emission Control Area, North Sea Emission Control Area, American Emission Control Area, North Sea Emission Control Area, United States Caribbean Sea Emission Control Area and Baltic Sea Emission Control Area. Now SOx में क्या क्या आता है? SOx में आता है Baltic Sea Area, North Sea Area, only Control Area, SICA, Mediterranean Sea Emission Control Area, entering into force first United American area, United States of Caribbean Sea area, so North and particular. Okay, bhai. NUM, North Sea area, North American Sea, United States Caribbean Sea area, Mediterranean Sea emission control area, Baltic Sea. How to reduce emission from ships? Humidified air method. इसका हम बाद में देखते हैं. So basically, enhancement of ship efficiency. The primary objective of SIM is to improve the overall operating efficiency of the ship in the long run by implementing correct and optimized energy and fuel saving method. Reduction of fuel consumption. A CMP is to implement method that can reduce the overall fuel consumption of the ship as to leads to reduction in air pollution and fuel cost, which is one of the high operating cost of the vessel. A decreasing in GHG emission from the ship. SEEMP emphasize the reducing the greenhouse gas emission from ships by providing method for reducing fuel consumption and using alternative fuel which cause the less GHG emission. Describe the following terms. EEDI or Energy Efficiency Design Index. It's a technical measure that's a tool that can be implemented during the design and construction stage of the vessel and it measures amount of CO2 emitted by the ship per capacity. EEOI Energy Efficiency Operation and allows ships to monitor carbon emission which can determined by the ship's fuel. What are the certificates and documents as per MARPOL? Annex 1 International Oil Pollution IOPP Oil Record Book. Annex 2 International Pollution Prevention Certificate for the carriage of noxious liquid substances in bulk. Cargo Record Book Certificate of Fitness. Third, Document of Compliance for Carriage of Packaged Dangerous Good. Documents of Compliance for Carriage of Packaged Dangerous Good. For fourth, International Sewage Pollution Certificate ISPP under MARPOL Annex 4. For 5, Certificate Documents of Approval Garbage Management Plan under MARPOL 5 Annex 5. Garbage Record Book. 6. International Energy Efficiency Certificate under MARPOL. International Energy Efficiency Certificate under MARPOL. International Energy Efficiency Certificate under MARPOL Annex 5. International Energy Efficiency Certificate under MARPOL Annex 5. International Air Pollution Prevention Certificate IAPP Certificate under MARPOL Annex 6. International Energy Efficiency Certificate under MARPOL Annex 5. IEEC under MARPOL Annex 6. International Energy Efficiency Certificate under MARPOL Annex 6. International Energy Efficiency Certificate under MARPOL Annex 6. ठीक है भैया. पाँचवें के लिए डॉक्यूमेंट ऑफ कंप्लायंस फॉर अप्रूव्ड गार्बेज मैनेजमेंट प्लान अंडर मार्पोल एनेक्स 5. Now, certificate documents of compliance for approved garbage management plan under the MARPOL Annex 5. Garbage Record Book. Certificate documents of compliance for approved garbage management plan under the MARPOL Annex 5. Garbage Record Book. Annex 6 International Energy Efficiency Certificate under MARPOL Annex 6. International Air Pollution Prevention Certificate under MARPOL Annex 6. 6. International Energy Efficiency Certificate under MARPOL Annex 6. International Energy Efficiency Certificate under MARPOL Annex 6. Certificate document of compliance for approved garbage management plan under MARPOL Annex 5. Garbage Record Book. International Energy Efficiency Certificate under MARPOL Annex 5. 6. International Air Pollution Prevention Certificate under MARPOL Annex. Engine International Air Pollution Prevention Certificate under MARPOL Annex 5 and NO2 Technical Code for marine diesel engines. International What is the Convention Code Amendments and Protocol? International conventions are agreed when a number of countries which are member of the IMO feel that there is a need for a convention. Such countries meet together, usually at the invitation of IMO, and discuss about the various proposals and finally come to an agreement which is recorded in form of a final act of conference. A convention is an agreed set of rules related to a particular matter. For example, safety of life at sea, for safety related matters at sea. International conventions are agreed when a number of countries which are members of the IMO feel that there is a need for a convention. Such countries meet together, usually at the invitation of IMO. क्या international convention are agreed when a number of countries which are member of IMO feel that there is a need for a convention. Such countries meet together, usually at the invitation of IMO, and discuss about various proposals and finally come to an agreement which is recorded in the form of a final act of conference. A convention is an agreed set of rules related to a particular matter, for example, safety of life at sea, SOLAS for safety related matters at sea. More often that not, the need of convention is triggered by a major incident. Example of IMO conventions: Convention on Facilitation of IMO 1965, International Convention on Load Line 1966, International Convention on Civil Liability for Oil Pollution Damage CLC 1969, International Convention for Safe Containers, that is CSC 1972, Convention on the International Regulations for Prevention Collision at Sea Colrex 1972, the International Convention for Prevention of Pollution from Ships 1973, International Convention on Standards of Training, Certificate and Watchkeeping for Seafarers, Maritime Labour Convention 2006, Nairobi International Convention on Removal of Wrecks 2007. The code on the other hand is a part of convention that is quoted with the convention.